Do you know you're playing games wrong? I mean, just post any preference, any play style on the internet, and you'll have an army of critics going to town on every last aspect of your video game being. And I kinda gotta admit, sometimes, especially when I was younger, I used to be and still am one of those people too. Adulthood has taught me to concentrate on the most important things in life, letting the hysterical people cry about all the irrelevant stuff they deem necessary. I of course still get mad at dumb stuff or even dumber people, but it's gotten less frequent. That obviously doesn't mean that I don't have my opinions even on the most stupid stuff, and I try to be a person with deeply rooted principles, but as long as no one gets hurt, I've generally gotten better at letting things go and being like, alright buddy, you do you. However, there are still some behaviors or playstyles I really can't get behind, and of course I do a lot of things other people can't understand as well. So let's take a look at some of them and pray that the comment section won't get too wild, alright? Let's start with something most of us can probably agree on. If you play a single player game, you gotta pay attention to the story. I mean, I guess there are some people who play single player games just for the gameplay, that's fine. But they then usually play games that are designed without a big story or even with no story at all. The intersecting set of games that are extremely fun in gameplay but also highly rich in story is, to my knowledge at least, quite small. Minecraft would be an example of a game that is all gameplay, no story. Red Dead 2 is quite the example for story 11 out of 10, gameplay necessary. Well, that was a bit rude maybe. Yes, before you rush to the comments, I know there are plenty of story games that have great, amazing, fun gameplay, but I'm struggling to find the words to explain what I mean. I guess I can put it this way. There are story games with great gameplay, but there really are no gameplay games with a great story, aren't there? I have some friends who really don't care for story and play games for the game's sake, like they usually flock around the same gameplay competition-based games like Counter-Strike, League of Legends, Call of Duty, Rocket League, or even stuff like Hearts of Iron. For them it's about getting to play, to drive, walk, move, shoot, organize, or whatever. And I get that, I really do. But I grew up watching a few of those people play story-based games and I almost threw my head into the TV. A friend of mine and I were playing GTA San Andreas. A cutscene comes on, he goes, I don't care, and skips the cutscene. We're back in the gameplay. He says, what do I have to do? Who's this guy? And I'm sitting next to him going, are you dumb? I knew the game already, so I told him and he went on. Next mission, next cutscene, same thing. He skips the cutscene, goes back to the gameplay, gets frustrated because he doesn't know what to do. And I'm asking myself, why are you doing this? Seriously. If you just want to mess around, sure, do it, that's fine, but why would you start a story mission and not listen to the story? Okay, I know. It's a very different thing when you know the story, the cutscene, the dialogue or whatever already. I skip dialogue and, merchant interactions all the time. I've heard welcome, welcome plenty of times, I'm good. But people don't stop at misunderstanding. They even go as far as complaining that the game isn't any good because they don't understand what's going on because they skip all the cutscenes. To me, this is obviously wrong, just like I think I'm a little bit of an, empath maybe? The word empathy has been tossed around so much, it's losing a lot of its original meaning, but I can pick up moods and feelings quite well. I don't necessarily subconsciously copy them and then feel, for example, sad as well, but I find myself in situations where people were obviously not feeling well, and when they leave, others around me are like, so he was a happy chap, right? And I'm sitting there like, that guy was on the verge of tears. I don't tell you this to flatter myself or anything, it's not that special, but it allows me to immerse myself into games and other media quite well, I think. And I like that and often try to deepen the effect by really shutting the world off around me and going in there, with varying success and wildly varying outcomes. I first recognized this about myself when I played Metro 2033. I even talked about it in my Metro review way back when. I just felt so alone, so sympathetic to our chum's situation, being alone in the dark with no one else around. I turned off all the lights, even turned down my screen's brightness, wore headphones and shut myself off from the outside world, because I really believe that this is the best way for me to experience this game as it was meant to be experienced. Same goes for in-game music. My in-game volume sliders usually have music at 90, dialogue at 95, and SFX and menu sounds at 85. Because the music builds the atmosphere, and the atmosphere builds the immersion. So now imagine you're me. I know, it feels a bit weird, but you'll get used to it. And it's 2011. You're at school, and Amnesia is the new hot shit. "Ooh, it's so scary," says one guy. "I had to stop playing last night, it was so intense," says another. And then, let's call her Susan, chimes in and says, "What are you talking about? It's not scary at all. Just turn on the brightness and run through the levels like a maniac, and it's not even scary." I was dumbfounded. Yes, she's right. Playing it like that probably means you won't get scared. But you also dismiss any chance of actually immersing yourself into this game. And what's the purpose then? Yeah, sure, again, go ahead, do as you please, but can someone please explain this behavior to me? But then again, I've actually stopped playing games or had to cut my sessions short because it was just too much. I actually refunded a VR game that I really enjoyed because after a while I thought to myself, I can't do this, it's too much. I would have loved to continue and finish the game, but I couldn't. After I finished the main part of Red Dead Redemption 2, I fell into a deep hole for a few days. It really did something to me. And I guess being affected by something fictitious that much is the other side of that coin. People's opinions usually differ a lot on this. Some are very fine with this deep immersion, while others fear that one might lose themselves in the gameplay the moment you own it. One of my fondest gaming memories is me and my best friend playing Modern Warfare 1 on Block. We turned off all the lights and sat across from each other at our living room table. Faces hidden behind our laptop screens, ears covered by headphones. He was in a ghillie, I was in a ghillie. Was there a step? No. Where is he? A slight peek across the table around the screen, his face just as concentrated and confused as mine. He doesn't see me, does he? I don't see him. Let me change positions. I'll go here. That's good. He might be in here. I'll throw a flash in. I can see him flinch a bit, but his face doesn't glow up. He's near, but not in that room. Now, where is he? Wait, what's... I've never played Bed Wars, never played any PvP. I've never done Skyblock, I've never modded Minecraft beyond Optifine, a shader and a texture pack. I don't use redstone, I never beat the Ender Dragon, and I never cared for raids. Now, to the 3 people who I haven't driven away yet, I play bare bones Minecraft, always have and always will. And having streamed a lot of hours of Minecraft, many people have stumbled over my cozy little stream, at least for my standards. And what's so interesting about Minecraft is how very differently people approach this game. Some play it creative only, pushing their imagination to new limits, while others live in dirt huts with a crafting table and a bed, but have a redstone supercomputer down in their basement. And generally, I got to know the Minecraft community as pretty accepting of these other playstyles. For them, it's like a different game. I have to admit, I tend to dismiss the other parts, the other playstyles, quite a lot. I spend a lot of hours building Kaer Morhen, the castle from The Witcher and Minecraft Survival, and so many people came along and said, hey, you should do this with redstone, hey, you should beat the Wither and get the beacon, or, I don't know, hey, you should invite a villager into a cozy part of your house and use him for books. But grumpy old boomer me nicely dismissed all of them all the time. I rather stuck to my old ways, enchanted diamond pickaxe after diamond pickaxe, and probably drove a few people crazy watching me painstakingly carve out mountain after mountain. Oh, to ease your worried minds, I've actually beaten the Wither, got a beacon, and even built a door with a redstone circuit. And I don't know why I do that. The dismissing. I guess it has to do with Minecraft being a comfort game, a safe space. I like it for what it is. It gives me exactly what I need, and I know exactly how to get it. So I'm scared, probably, of ruining the space by changing it, even if that change is obviously going to help and won't change too much of the general vibe. And for others, this might look wrong even. Why would he do things the hard way, not the easy way? Another game where I do pretty much the same thing, dismissing a big part of the gameplay, is Anno. As some of you might have seen my ridiculously successful video on Anno, thanks again for the views, guys. I have a particular way of playing it. For the uninitiated, Anno is a mostly historical city builder supply chain simulator. But it also has war as an element, pirates, enemies, and whatever. But I think I haven't played one single player session where I willingly participated in war. Yeah, I've beaten up the pirates in co-op games with friends, but that's about it. I just want to build my cute little city with my happy citizens, greet my ridiculously easy CPU enemies while I float by the harbor with my ships filled to the brim with goods. There were several comments on the Anno video of people wholeheartedly agreeing with me on the no war thing, while others lamented and still lament the weaker conflict mechanics in newer Anno titles. And just as I think they are committing sacrilege by destroying Anno's beautiful calmness with their cannons and guns, they must look at my tiny unoptimized city, pitying me for my futile effort of creating a grand empire. And that's okay, we're all equally weird. I feel like there's been a generational shift in how to play shooters, but especially Call of Duty. I am a, let's say, middle-aged Call of Duty veteran. I've played a bit of the campaigns of Call of Duty 2 and 3, but without proper internet access at the time and no interest in historical shooters, I put it away for a while. But when Modern Warfare hit the shelves, and that's 2007 Modern Warfare for you younglings out there was no stopping me. Literal thousands of hours were poured into Modern Warfare 1, 2, 3, Black Ops 2 as well, and a few shorter trips into newer ones too. But especially Modern Warfare 1, which I mostly played on private servers I found online, left a big impression on how I perceive and interpret the unspoken rules of online Call of Duty that I still carry with me to this day. Back then it was an unforgiving bare-bones shooter. Sure, you had your fair share of weapons, skills, and gadgets, but that's nothing compared to Modern Warfare games. Camping was frowned upon, so was noob tubing, and the general consensus was kill or get killed. No skill-based matchmaking, no netcode shenanigans to help hyping players. It was the definition of get good. And looking at modern Call of Duty games, all I see is people camping in the most backwards-ass spots, surrounded by dozens of gadgets and doodads that game and their enemies for them while they sit in a corner, crouched down and aiming a Dragon's Breath shotgun roughly in the direction of the next door. I'm not really asking how can you play like this, but rather how can you enjoy playing like this. Of course people play like this, the game practically begs you to sit around and wait. I did a deeper dive into this topic a while back in my Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer demo video. And yeah, it's the same thing as it is with Minecraft and Anno. I'm set in my ways and I could easily adapt, change to the new style and probably get a different, better outcome than I'm getting right now. But what baffles me isn't the use, maybe even exploitative use of mechanics built into these games. It's how people enjoy playing like this. To me, it's illogical. Call of Duty, in essence, is running towards each other and finding out who can press a button quicker. And while shooting in a shooter is obviously important, the first part, running around, is so deeply crucial to this game. I've had plenty of games end 70-70 or something like that in the newer Call of Duties because 8 out of 10 people were just sitting on their asses close to spawn, not killing shit. My friends and I routinely got 50 to 60, sometimes even more kills out of 75 just between the two of us because no one else was doing anything. And I don't say this to brag, mostly because it's not really brag-worthy, but it shows perfectly well how this kind of gameplay is just illogical, and God, I hate illogical things. If your behavior and playstyle benefits the team, then hey, okay, go for it, even if I don't like it. If it only benefits you, but not your team, hey, okay, I guess go for it. But you cannot tell me that sitting around for 10 minutes doing basically nothing and finishing the round 3 to 4 is in any way fun or engaging or helps the team win. And I just don't get it. It's annoying as hell, you're slowing the game down for everyone. And now I am one of those people complaining how others do a thing that has never ever received any kind of official gameplay rules. The beauty of video games is being able to decide for yourself how you want to spend your time, how you want to push your buttons. But sometimes, just sometimes, my frustration for the shenanigans other people pull exceeds my patience for it. But I know I can't change them, and I shouldn't want to, because deep down I know and I really believe that trying to achieve this, trying to get people to play the way I think is right, destroys one of the core concepts, one of the most important aspects of video games. Individuality. While writing this video, I was afraid of sliding into hypercritical rants too much, and judging by the last 4 minutes and 8 seconds, I did a mediocre job. To be honest, I wanted an opportunity to complain for a bit, to tell the world my point of view, even if no one cares. But I also tried to reflect, realize what I'm doing, where I am in the situation of the people I complain about. That's hard, and sometimes I'm not good at that. If you're going to take anything away from this video, I want it to be that video games are for you and for me, for all of us. They give us a good time, sometimes bad times as well. They give us social interactions, sometimes even friends, an option to escape the madness that is life. And how we want to realize this escape is completely up to us. And yeah, sometimes other people's fulfillment of said escape is annoying and puts us off. But who are we to judge them, or let's say, openly judge them for it? Thanks for watching.